Welcome to Nothing's Real with Jeffrey and Jenna. We are back to talk about Season 4 of the reality TV series, The Traitors. The season just finished, and we're here to talk about everything Traitors. What we loved, what we hated, our thoughts on how it ended, and everything in between. Welcome to my co-host, Jenna. What do you think about The Traitors?
Hi. Yes, this is the first time I've watched The Traitors. I haven't seen any other season. I was never super into it, but I really enjoyed the season. I thought it was really fun. I got hooked after the first. They dropped like 3 episodes at once, and then I got hooked after that, and I was like, I gotta see what happens. And so I really enjoyed it. But do you want to talk a little bit about what The Traitors is and how it's progressed?
Yes, so I don't want to go too deeply into the history of it. There's a bunch of versions of the Traitors, but basically, essentially, Traitors is like mafia on crack, and it's like a bunch of reality stars competing in a big mafia game in a castle in Scotland.
So for people who don't know Mafia, it's basically what? So there's people who are trying to kill people. Is that how Mafia is as well?
So there's a whole cast of characters, and 3 people usually are chosen to be in this game, the Traitors. And each week, the Traitors will choose to kill someone, and then the other people who are called the Faithfuls will be doing like these challenges to like gain money, but also by the end of the night, they will also have a round table, which is where they'll talk about who they think the traitor is, and they will vote them off, and it's so dramatic. It's incredible. I've watched all 4 seasons. I even watched the UK version, and I begged Jenna to watch this because she was missing out, and she's a Survivor girly.
Yeah.
Like, why are you missing out on this?
I like that they have the Survivor people. That's really honestly the only reason I watched. What did you think about this season?
Okay, I have very mixed thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
We'll get into what you thought because you're a newbie to it. I thought this was one of the worst seasons. I'm going to be so honest.
Sad.
I was like, I'm happy you liked it because in my mind, I was like, I'm so disappointed that I got Jenna onto the worst season. I was like, she's never going to come back. She's never going to take my advice because all the entertaining people left.
Who do you think the entertaining people were? I felt like Candace and Lisa, they stayed and they were entertaining.
They were entertaining, but afterwards, I'm sorry, they're likable. I just don't really like Johnny and Tara. Love your Olympics
I thought they were
commentary.
so fun.
They were so like boring to me.
Yeah,
Like,
they were.
and they were dumb.
They were dumb. They were.
I can't. I like when a traitor is like really fighting for it. Rob, we'll get into Rob, but he had a very easy ride to that end. He really didn't have any adversity, and so it really brought down the season for me. I like Rob C. I wish he was there longer.
I agree.
All the gamers got picked off, and I know a lot of people complain that there wasn't any gamers in the turret this season. The turret is where the traitors go in and kind of decide or debate who they want to kill that night. But I feel like for the metagame is kind of like the outside, like what the show usually does. Picking a gamer, they've picked gamers every season, and so I think diverting that expectation was a good move, but it led for some really boring TV. I'm sorry.
That's fair. I think it helped that I didn't know what it was supposed to be, so I was like, it's interesting. It helped that Rob is hot. It helped to watch that. Like, sue me. I think that was a big through line of it. I thought he was playing a good game. I thought
he was.
It was really interesting that nobody was suspecting him, and I thought that was really entertaining to watch. I also think I was hooked with the like drama between the traitors and how they like Candace and Rob handled that, and I thought that was cool. But I do agree. I mean, it would have been interesting to see how the gamers progress, because I do think if the gamers stayed in, they would have figured out Rob. Like, I mean, I get that he had like his cool, calm demeanor or whatever, but I think like because he went so hard with Lisa, I mean, I guess Natalie was in, but I think that there was something where it was just, whether people thought he was so attractive that like they're just like letting him off, or he was just really quiet and like simple, not like dumb, but just like easygoing. I think that the gamers overthink.
Mhm.
And I think that's why Natalie like was so a lot. I mean, even Jam Jam was a lot. Like all of them were just so much. And I think it's interesting to see how a Survivor game progresses to Traitors, because I didn't realize like how intense the Survivor players are, because I was like, oh, they're not going to be intense. But when you're playing with housewives who don't play anything. My favorite part of the season, and it was also the most depressing part, was the end with Mara and Rob. That's like it's awful. It's my worst nightmare, where you're like so convinced, and then Rob just comes, and I felt so bad for Mara.
Destroys your
Yeah.
dreams. Yeah.
It was rough, but it was really good TV.
It was. I will say, the finale really helped improve my thoughts on the season, because, like I said, I think like the first half was kind of good, I would say. I love Candace. She's one of my favorite housewives. I watch all the housewives shows, so I was incredibly happy to see her as a traitor. I thought Lisa was kind of obvious, and we can get into sort of Donna Kelsey and the secret traitor.
Yeah, that felt like a gimmick.
Yeah, that was really bad, and I don't know who's...
They wanted the Taylor Swift stand.
Which I'm like, in my mind, are Taylor fans like really keeping up with Donna Kelsey?
That's true. That's a good point.
Who cares what if Donna Kelsey is on the Traitors? Why are we... I don't know. I didn't get it, but it's fine. We always have to have like a Nepo family member on the cast. But yeah, I like the Traitors, and the finale was great. Seeing Maura gag.
Oh my God.
I think I witnessed her age at least like 5 years when she found out.
I felt so bad.
She was so...
She was so
dumbfounded.
Sure. I mean, look, I know that both her and Rob went into it not having ever seen the Traitors, as far as they've said in their interviews. And so I kind of get where it's just like, you choose somebody to trust. Maura knows Rob. I don't know. In my mind, I don't think that they had like a relationship. I know that like people were like, oh, they for sure did. Rob was really weird at the finale. I didn't get the vibe from Maura that was what it was happening, but I could be wrong. But I think regardless, it was just kind of like you choose somebody to fully trust. And Rob is a good liar. Like he did. I mean, you could tell that he didn't want to lie. Like I think that's his redeeming quality to me, which I go back and forth. I'm like, is he an asshole? Is he an asshole? Maybe. Sometimes yes. But I also think like I felt like it was what he said when he voted out Eric, right? Where he was like, would you give someone you met 3 weeks ago $1 million? Not million, $100,000?
They wish it was $1 million.
That's my thing with the Traitors. And I mean, it's Survivor as well, as like, you can't really fault them for playing the game. And Rob, out of a lot of the players, has the least amount of money. Like Maura is like, her like net worth is like $4 million. She has a bunch of brand deals. Rob really had like nothing. He didn't really have, obviously people were like, I mean, people didn't like him after Love Island because of everything. I didn't watch that, but I knew the lore with Rob. I didn't know like everything. And I think if I had seen that season, I maybe would hate him a little bit more. But at the same time, I do think he's just like who he says he is. And like, you can't fault somebody for that. You can't fault, like he literally was like, I'm going to lie to win this money. And then I just want to go home and live on my farm and catch snakes. And it's like, that's crazy. Hot. But no, okay. What were we talking about?
We were talking about the finale, which I will say, I agree with you. I don't know. They kept trying to push it on us. It was weird. They wanted us to like really buy into the Rob and Maura relationship in like a romantic sense.
Well, I think because they wanted the big reveal.
I didn't get the chemistry. There was no chemistry. Like, I don't know. Maura seems like older than Rob, and like, I don't know. She just gives a more mature energy. He's kind of like an Alabama boy. Like,
that's my thing. Is that, and that's what people were saying for Love Island, is because he's so like none of the like. What was Leah? That was everyone's like, Leah would have hated being with him.
She's a Calabasas girl.
Yeah.
He's an Alabama guy.
Regardless, I don't think like her reaction at the end was because it was like, oh my God, I'm in love with him. I think it was just like she was really convinced that they were going to go to the end to win together for like this Love Island franchise, and being caught up in all of that. And I think like she was there to have fun. She was there. She was playing the game, but I think she just like wanted to serve looks as well. And like the money was cool, but I think for a lot of people the money wasn't that important.
Yeah.
But I do think I couldn't do that. For that much money though, I don't know.
Well, it's one of those things where it's like with Tara and Johnny, they would always say at the round table, or they would be questioned at the round table, and they would be like, "How do you know that the other person's not a traitor?"
Right.
And they're like, "I just know. I feel like if we were playing this game, I would know." I'm like, but I guess maybe Mora felt that way.
Right.
I don't know why, because
Yeah.
to me, I watched Rob's Love Island season. I don't think that he's like a horrible person. I feel like a lot of people like painted that picture going into this season. He's just a guy,
Yeah.
like a
That's really
douchey
what
guy.
it is.
Yeah,
He's just a guy.
like a dude.
And, he's playing the game. And I've seen that as well where people were talking about that, like, Mora and Rob had, in the Housewives to an extent, have more of Survivor, I guess. But they have more because they're so used to having the cameras on them 24/7, and they're used to, like, the idea of the game. Like, Love Island, obviously you're finding love, but it's a game.
Right.
And so I think it was easier for Rob to separate that
Mm-hmm.
versus, like, Tara and Johnny. I think it was harder. Johnny, not so much. Tara, I think, got really into it because it's just like, she hasn't done that. She hasn't played like a game with cameras on all the time where it's like you can't really trust the people around you, which I sympathize with. I think that would be tough.
One more thing, I think that it's interesting. Kind of nobody has mentioned it, but like kind of like the metagame of it, where it's like, would they pick Rob for this like basic dude from Love Island? Like, would they pick that type of person for the traitor? Like, because usually they pick like the housewives, the big personalities.
I think they picked him because he's hot.
Well, yes,
I
of
think
course.
they
But
knew
like,
it was going to draw in a
but
lot
like the
of viewers.
people who were playing the game thinking that like, oh,
Mm.
they would never pick like this random guy from Alabama. Like they would
That's
pick
true.
a housewife or they would pick a gamer.
I also think like everyone's like exit press was just like, oh, he just was always consistent. He never really wavered. I think that like when you're looking for things, everyone else is like so cagey. I feel like he gave the same energy as Mark, and Mark
Right.
like wasn't a traitor, and he was very like easygoing and whatever. So I mean, I don't know if I don't know if I would be like, yeah, of course it's gonna be this guy. I think you're right. If you're thinking strategically, it's like, why would they pick this quiet man to be a traitor? Because it's gonna make such boring TV.
So this being your first season of The Traitors, how does it compare to the other reality shows that you watch? I mean, you're not that big of a reality TV
No.
head, but I am. So
So for me, I really only watch Survivor. I've seen Big Brother. I think it's similar in my mind to Big Brother more.
Mhm.
It's not like I don't think it's better than Survivor.
Mhm.
I think it's fun. I think it's gimmicky.
Mhm.
In my mind, I think there's a lot of problems with the game that makes it like a good game. I think it's there for the drama of these D-list celebrities.
Mhm.
I'm interested to see how the next season with newbies, because I just think that like obviously it's better to come in with no like preconceived connections, but I just think that like it's not a game that's built well enough to
Mhm.
like be interesting if the people aren't interesting.
Right.
Like I think Survivor can be to some extent interesting because of the format, and also because like it's just like they've been able to engineer something so if like maybe the cast flops a little bit, you still could get viewers, versus like, okay, if you don't have interesting traders, you don't have like people who are gonna like be loud at the round table, you don't have housewife drama, you don't have that, then like what's the point? Because the competitions don't matter.
Right.
The money is just kind of nothing. I mean, it's obviously a lot of money for these people. It's not for like normal reality shows. It's not. So I don't know. I don't know if I'll watch the next season. It depends on who's on it.
Okay.
In my mind. What about you?
When The Traitors first started, I was really excited because their casting, I will say, is very elite. I feel like they actually listen to people. I mean, they got Rob C, and as a Survivor fan, like
Right.
Rob C.
Yes.
People are always talking about the flaws of the game, and I'm like, it's not really like a game of strategy, or it's supposed to be kind of broken in a sense. Like,
Well, because that's what people have said. Like like you vote out a traitor, they just recruit somebody else.
Right.
So like, what's the point of voting out traitors? And also like, what's the point? You can't like get any clues from the pot. You can't like, or from the competitions. You can't. There's not really incentives for anything.
Right.
The incentive would be like keep the traitors in to
right.
some extent, but I think it is there for the drama. It
Yeah.
is there for the like.
The cast is truly the
yes.
draw,
Mhm.
not the actual game necessarily. I mean, it's exciting to watch them compete in this like format. I have a question. If you had to add something to kind of fix the game.
I've seen people talk about this. So I think it's kind of like, I haven't seen this show, but like Secret Millionaire, where somebody has like the $1 million and you get clues. I think people should maybe be getting clues for the traitors, like, or the traitors have an incentive to either like fail the challenges and they get money, or add money to their own pot, because I think then that's easier to like figure it out. I don't know. I mean, I think like it's built off of, like you said, like Mafia, which is just like a childhood game that you play, and it's you know, that lasts for half an hour at max. So I think like what they're doing, I mean, it works. People are watching it. It's won awards. So I just think that like they could make it more dramatic.
They could.
Do you have anything?
I'm one of those people where I'm like, I hate when people say make all the traitors like secret. Absolutely not. Like, I hate when people suggest it. I think that's a dumb idea. That's not the point of the show.
Right.
Like, a huge part of the show is watching these traitors complain or like debate or like fight in the turret. Like, no, I don't want to see secret traitor. They tried it with Donna, it flopped. I don't want to see it. This is kind of stealing from Survivor, but like maybe add like not an idol, but kind of a way to protect yourself during the vote, because I feel like it's the vote. And people,
that's smart. More than like the dagger or whatever.
Yeah, I feel like don't have like one each challenge, but like have maybe add them in the challenges and kind of like be like, oh, there's this thing that can protect you from the vote, and there's that incentive to like see someone try and find it.
What I want to know is, how do you think you would do on the traitors?
I feel like if I was a traitor, or just in general?
Both.
Okay. I feel like if I was a traitor, I would put on way too much. I feel like it would...
You'd be found out?
Maybe like midway. I would kind of like play the comedy route, like be like, oh my God, well, like that would be my vibe. I'd be like very extra about it, and people would be like, this guy's on crack, like what is going on? If I was a faithful, I would be killed because I'd be too loud and I would be calling people out, and I feel like I'm
what's
really...
his name, Michael? That was, yeah.
How dare you compare me to that wretched goblin? I'm gonna pretend I didn't hear that.
Sorry.
It's fine. Yeah, I would probably be very active in the game if I was a faithful. What about you?
I don't think I could go on this game. I don't think look, I had played Survivor games in the past, and I just really get so anxious, and I don't like betraying people. I don't like lying to people, and I know that's, but again, you're like, if you're going to win the money, that's the one thing where I'm like, it'd be nice to win money.
Right.
I could do it, and then you would just see me crying after every vote, and everyone would be like, this fucking, she's such a pick me. Which I'm not. I just get really stressed. I don't like confrontation, and the whole point of the game at the round table is confrontation. And I don't think I could deal with that. I don't know how I could like defend myself if someone's like comes at me. I think that's why I prefer Survivor, because it's not, you don't want to like be, because that's, somebody could vote you out immediately, you know what I mean? Even as a faithful, I think I'd be really stressed out. I feel like I'd prefer to be a faithful, but I just wouldn't want to like call anybody out either. I would be like Eric, who feels bad all the time.
You'd be Tara.
Oh no.
Crying.
I love her, but like I would be, and she was annoying in that, because it's just like, girl, calm down, and that would be me. And everyone would be like, why are you crying? I don't think I would want to play. I would rather play Survivor, and I don't want to play that either. So.
Well, I was about to say Jeff Probst, call Jenna,
please don't.
I feel like you could do it.
This kind of goes what we were talking about, is the prize money worth it? Because that's like Survivor's $1 million. This is what you build it up to. I don't think it matters.
They don't care.
No. I do feel bad, like the gamers, like Rob. I think it matters to them.
Well, yeah, Tiffany was like, yo, I want my child to like go to college. Can I like stay a little bit more? There's also that like, again, metagame where it's like, by staying longer, I get paid more. So like, please keep me. And they're like, no, bye. Yeah. Like, you are a traitor.
I think that maybe with like, if they do civilian Survivor or whatever, Survivor Traitors, then maybe you can have the prize money higher. But I don't see like it really changing anything.
I don't either. I mean, these people do not care, to be honest. I think that they know it's like TV, and I think that it's more...
It's that they can get brand deals. They can get like followers from this. It's a fun game. That's why I think some of the actors like reached out, because they were like, I just want to be on this.
You haven't watched the show, but it reminds me of Celebrity Apprentice. It's like
With
celebrity.
Donald Trump?
Yes, but before before that,
Okay.
to me, the casting of the Traitors reminds me so much of Celebrity Apprentice, and I
Mm.
felt like for a long time after that show ended, there was like a gap and like no show kind of like that.
Mm.
And now we have Traitors, and we're here and we're eating it up and we're loving it, and like D-list celebrities have places to go now.
Yeah, that's
Like
true.
I'm happy. I don't know. I love the Traitors
Yeah.
casting.
I like that they've been pulling Survivor people. I think it's fun to see
Yeah.
them in another game, and especially like the icons like Suri and Parvati
Yeah.
and all of them. Like I'm glad that they went on.
Yeah. I don't know what we're gonna do when they run out.
They're gonna really pull from the depths of Survivor. They're gonna get Jeffra on there.
Oh, incredible. Yes.
Okay, before we wrap this up, I want to know who, if you had to pick 3 people to be on the Traitors, who would they be?
The Traitors has been their casting, although I praised it, has been very similar the past few years. So it's like a bunch of gamers, a bunch of housewives, or some Bravo people, and then like maybe like pseudo celebrities. I want them to go a little nicher with the reality shows. I want like a dance mom. Like not Abby Lee Miller, but like a dance mom. Like
Okay.
a Chrissy or a Holly. Like I want a dance mom. Give me a dance mom. They're crazy. I don't really have specific names, but I want like a you know how they had Stefan and he was like the One Tree Hill
Oh,
actor?
yes,
But
yeah.
he was like on the last season of One Tree Hill and had like 2 episodes. Like
Mm-hmm.
nobody looks at you from One Tree Hill. I like want like an actual like CW
Oh.
like cast member, maybe someone from Smallville. Wink, wink. And then for my third one, I would say like a random niche Survivor player like Natalie Bolton or
Oh, that'd be cool.
Sean Rector, someone like niche kind of. Rob C, although he's like a podcast like crazy person, but he's like a niche person in Survivor at this point. I would like someone like that. What about you?
So I would say I picked from the Great British Bake Off. I picked it because Mara's from Ireland. Like I can choose the UK people. I know they have Traitors, but they can come to the US to be in
Exactly.
this.
Yeah.
So I think the 2 hosts, I want both of them. I want Noel Fielding and Alison Hammond. I think Alison Hammond would be great on it. I think put one of them as the Traitors would be amazing. I also would love. So those are my first 2, and then I think the third, Survivor. I was like thinking about that. If I had to pick, maybe Michelle Fitzgerald. I love her. I think she should be more things.
Okay. Well. There we go. This is our Traitors Pod. This is Nothing's Real with Jeffrey and Jenna. We are signing out. Thank you for listening.
Thank you.